today we have Anthony and Lucia Fields. Are you looking forward to the Wiggles? Because we've known the Wiggles for all your life.
I've got an important question for you.
Oh, okay. What is it?
What colour Wiggle would you want to be?
I performed on stage with them a couple of times. I was no surprises here and no prizes for guessing. I was the black Wiggle.
I'd want to be Sparkle Wiggle.
You're the glitter Wiggle, I'm the black Wiggle. We'll be back with Lucia and Anthony Field of the Wiggles right after this little break. So it is a great pleasure today to catch up with Anthony and Lucia Field, the Blue Wiggles. And Christian, who joins us from his apartment in Hollywood. How are you, Twist? I haven't seen you for a while, darling.
I know, g'day. I've never said g'day so much as when I live in LA. I've never said it once back home, but everyone here like, g'day, how's it going?
That's probably partially your fault. You probably spread the g'day around the world a bit.
Well, yeah, the g'day, and I think Steve Irwin was the man that really put it on the map.
He put crikey on
Crikey,
the
yeah.
You've got a bit of beauty, mate.
Beauty mate, we say beauty mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, when we first went to America, people, they put out a dictionary, a glossary of terms.
They
for
did
the
or you
American,
did?
No, they did. Lyric, the video company, because they had all these Aussie slang terms. Those days were before the internet, so it was a little bit different,
Well, you took Aussie culture to the world and, got them when they were young, really, didn't you?
And Steve was happening, he had this ad that came out for UPS, I think it was, where he delivered, and America went gangbusters for him. But we went back to Australia and no one had heard of him.
That's right.
It was incredible. We kept saying, you got to see this guy. He's from Queensland.
Hey, we should just bring you in, Christian, because Christian was, of course, an honorary Wiggle. Look at this photo, isn't that?
Cute.
Do you,
Oh my
do you remember that?
Didn't we play Christian's birthday party?
Probably.
I think we played at a party
That's
that
such
you're
a
at.
flex.
I
I
know.
hope that you did play my birthday party. What a great birthday party. Like, how would any of the other kids at school ever top that? They go, oh, of course we went to Richard Wilkins' son's birthday party and he had the Wiggles
He had the
playing.
Wiggles, yeah.
I was just saying, Christian, in the picture where you're in the Wiggles, your dad looks so much like you. Like really looks like you. Yeah.
It was a long. Well, Christian's about to turn 29, so that's around about 25 years ago, I suppose.
Amazing.
Yeah. Do you remember that was that the first album? Was it the Three Weeds or somewhere in Balmain?
In Balmain, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. I don't think it was the first album, but it was one of them. But yeah, I'm sure we played a party with Christian.
Well, you did.
You're
been
only
very
a little
good
one then.
You've been very good to us over the years. What was it like for you growing up with your dad? The most successful Aussie entertainer in the world.
Well, you don't hear that often. But no, it was weirdly normal for me. Especially in primary school, that was Wiggles was. I mean, obviously,
It was everything.
it's everything. It was everywhere. Kids, and I was also the perfect age for the Wiggles. All my friends were, but I still kind of thought of Dad as separate from Anthony, kind of. Like I'd see him on TV and I'd be like, what's my dad doing there? But also, like he'd be home and then I'd be like,
All of a sudden, these
it's my dad. Like
I wonder if Christian's got parallel experiences of being at dinner and people come up and see Dad and you're there going, did that become natural for you too, Christian, that during dinner, you're going to get, someone's going to come up and say to Dad, can I get a selfie or an autograph?
Yeah, but I always loved it. I thought it was so exciting. And people would be like, what are you doing this weekend? And I'd be like, I'm going to a premiere with Hilary Duff. I was so or I had the Wiggles play my birthday party. Like, it's, and I just thought it was so, like, wonderfully exciting that he was doing this thing. And I mean, obviously, Lucia, you're the same. There was something that really kind of drew you to that entertainment industry.
Yeah, it was. It was definitely exciting, but I think for a while, I was confused why people were coming up to the table. I'd be like, oh, like, we're having dinner. Like, what's going on? But then you, like, as you're getting older, you're like, wow, this is like really special to see this happening. You're like, my dad means so much to so many people around the world. I don't even know who these people are, and they just, they come over and tell their story and how much they appreciate the work that he's done, and it's
Well,
Yeah, it's
we-
amazing.
little Antonio, when he's now 6'4" and 17 years old,
Yes.
but little Antonio, when he was 4, he once said to me, Dad, people come up and say sorry all the time. Sorry, sorry, can I take your photo? Sorry. he was wondering why they always said sorry.
Well, they didn't want to interrupt.
Did they
but,
say sorry to you all the
I
time?
can't remember, but most people are pretty nice. You
Oh,
know,
they're lovely, but they say sorry.
Sorry,
But
yeah.
as a little kid watching,
Why
he's
they
wondering
always-
why they're saying sorry to
Sorry.
me all the time.
Well, you had such a huge impact.
I mean, what you got to do, Anthony, on an international stage was incredible. I mean, Lucia, what was it like kind of seeing your dad in different countries doing this?
I mean, for the longest time, we'd just see Dad at the end of year shows in Sydney. It became a tradition. Every year, most of my family, but especially, immediate family, we'd go to the end of year big shows, watch the shows. I'd bring some of my friends, and it was so much fun. Even, as I was getting older, you might think, oh, you're growing out of the Wiggles, but it was fun,
No, never.
because but because you're still seeing your dad performing, having fun, and then I started to notice how much kids enjoyed it and how they were reacting to it, and that just honestly just made the experience so much better.
Was it ever weird for
I've
you?
said this-
You're traveling the world, you're entertaining everybody else's kids, and you're away from yours. Was that ever a thing?
It was, and Steve Waugh once said, "How do you cope?" And he said, "I try not to think about them," and that was a way
Wow.
of coping. But that actually, because we were away 9 months a year in America, in a way, that wasn't great. I actually went down that path of going, okay, I'm gonna. If I think about them, I'll go crazy, and. I got to say, the best thing that ever happened for me was COVID, because I got to stay home and really get to know these wonderful children. It was just fantastic, and there they are. And I really got to know their sense of humour, their kindness, everything about them. It was just lovely.
But Lucia, a question for you: was there ever any doubt that you'd go into the family business at some stage?
Oh, I had probably not a thought in my head that I was going to.
You were
really.
a ballerina, right?
Yeah. I went to Australian Ballet School for 3 years, and before that I was at McDonald College, the Performing Arts School, and then, COVID hit, and I was kind of at a crossroads about where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, and I was very confused, but I ended up leaving the ballet school, going back to school for year 11 and 12. And I graduated. I still didn't know what I was going to do. I always had a thought that I'd be in something creative, but never knew what it would be. And then Dad asked, he was like, do you want to come on tour, just doing some dancing while you, figure out what you want to do? And I was like, of course, because I'd done a couple of, little tours before and I've been on stage with them. And I was just as a dancer for quite a few months, and then the lineup changed and Evie was moving to Yellow, and I got a call from Dad.
We're gonna have to get the whiteboard out if you
Yeah.
keep going.
So it's very confusing. So Dad called me and said, would you like to become a Blue Wiggle? But it wasn't actually his idea. It was Al. Yeah, he's our sound engineer. And I said yes. I didn't really think. I just said yes.
Whatever you want. Yeah.
And it was,
But that night you started crying and out of stress, worry about it.
yeah, I was,
And I didn't have the idea at all. It really came from Al, our sound man.
yeah.
So she had been doing some backing vocals. I didn't even know she sang. I just thought of her as a ballerina.
Yeah.
And Al said, she's got a really good voice. And I went, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, well,
But
okay.
it was stressful because it's, different territory for me. Like I hadn't really sung in front of anybody or really trained in singing. And, I'd said yes and then thought about it afterwards and I was like, oh, I said yes, and it's best decision I've ever made, really. And I loved it so much. And I'm
Well, see, most people, I would assume, would think that this was all part of a cunning plan.
Plotting.
Well, because he's very smart, your dad. You might have noticed that. And it's, it's that your brother was managing the group, your other brother's writing half the songs. You've got family. How many family members are working there?
Yeah, well,
got
Paul's son now, Luke, he's the
cousin.
general manager. The
My
cousin's
other
in the
cousin.
second assistant director.
And then also
Yeah, it's family everywhere.
Dom
is the Tree of Wisdom. I don't know if you know about the Tree of Wisdom, but the Tree of Wisdom is an internet sensation.
Yes, an entity in himself.
It's Dom, Paul's boy, and he dresses up as a tree, and he's like Chris Farley in a way, just 100% going for it.
Yeah.
And he's become a real, like, people are coming to the shows just to see the Tree of Wisdom.
But they also don't know that he is related to us, which is funny.
But with me, I never wanted to be pushing the kids anywhere into the entertainment industry. Like I'd rather find your way.
Yeah. So you weren't the pushy showbiz parent like me.
Absolutely.
Were you?
No, Dad's
You and
never
I
been.
can't see
No.
you.
No, I'm not. No,
No.
I try to measure it out, and often a cautionary tale as well, because
Yes,
it's a tough road to hoe. It's all right if the Australia's highest earning income thing, but
It's things like when Lucia would do a Stedford or something before she went to the ballet school.
Yeah.
And if she didn't get the first place or they wrote something, I would never go that went, what do they know? I'd always go, well, you just got to have a look at what they said.
And another thing with those, Stedfords and little performances, I only ever did them because I wanted to perform. At that point, I never cared about.
That's a good point.
I never cared about winning. I just wanted to be on stage so badly. But even then, I didn't think, I wanted to be a wiggle. In my mind, I was like, I want to become maybe a ballet dancer or something to do with the stage.
Do you think you were judged harder because of your family lineage?
I'm not sure actually. I feel like a lot of the time the judges didn't really know because they were smaller Stedfords and I never put it out.
You mean there or mean the Wiggles?
No, I mean, did people at competitions, at
Oh,
school,
yeah.
ballet school, and various things say, "Oh, you must be good because blah blah blah."
I don't know. I mean, you can.
It is what it is, hey?
Yeah, it is what it is. And
Okay, Dad, being a dad, when she was 11, she won the Australasian
the ballet award
Australia title. And, mate, that was the proudest moment of my life. I was like so happy. But daughter Maria, younger sister, is a brilliant actor, and she just graduated, but she flatly refuses to be a wiggle.
yeah.
She
She does not.
I make a moment. The other day we were doing a song called Marshmallow. Lockie wrote this great song, and we were hard up for a marshmallow.
And my sister was.
And I said to Maria, "Would you like to be the marshmallow?"
She
I'll
said,
be the marshmallow.
Yes, Christian,
Chris could be a good marshmallow.
That'd be fantastic.
What did Maria say?
And she was like, absolutely not. I'm sorry, no.
What does your mum? What's Mickey think about all of this? The family, kids going. She must be
loves
so
it.
proud.
Oh my goodness!
Did you have any words of warning before she put on the blue jersey? Gibby?
I mean, I think there was a big thing about what people will say and also online especially. And I kind of always been told by Dad, though, that regardless of what they say online, you can't let that affect you. But I mean, I kind of have always been prepared to, go on stage.
Of course.
I did have some help with how to interact with kids. That was a big one, and singing and playing music at the same time was another thing. But I mean, I kind of tried to find it on my own.
Lucia plays
a little
drums
bit.
pretty well, but talking about the internet thing. Can we talk as dads here?
Yeah.
We cop things on it, but when your children,
Well, we have a rule just don't read the comments.
yeah.
Because it's evil out there.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
It just becomes a platform for people who just want to say nasty things.
Yeah.
But I do think that's much easier said than done. And I
That's
think
true.
that you need to come into it with some sort of ability or some coping mechanism.
Yeah.
Because realistically, you will see the comments. Even if you don't mean to, something will sneak through. And you definitely need to have that sort of internal strength to kind of find something to look past it and have that pillar of hope that kind of makes it worth it for you.
Yeah,
100%.
you being a trailblazer, Christian.
He wore a dress to the Logies and
which
got
was,
hammered.
it was a beautiful
I-
dress,
and
and you looked
obsessed.
amazing. And
Thank you.
but I
He said Scotsmen have been wearing dresses for bloody years.
in the army, I wore a kilt for 3 years.
Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, that internet stuff it's a worry. It's
It's also hard though because so much of our lives now are on the internet and based on the internet, and we also use it for business
Of course.
and for networking, and you almost sometimes kind of have to maybe give a quick look and then leave it out of your mind.
But I mean, your success has coincided with the explosion in technology and selfies and things. And I love the story. I still tell the story. Not everybody knows it about how you came up with that device. Right?
yeah,
The
it
lawyer or
was
something.
John Edward, the medium. He's a
really?
great mate of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah, and John said, "You're early childhood performers. You've got to be above suspicion. Keep your hands where the people can see them." So that's how we developed this, and it's been great. It's also great because when you don't know what to say, you can just go.
Yeah. Don't know how to pose? Do that.
Such an identifier.
And little kids love it. They
Yeah.
do it. They
Yeah.
go like that to us all the time. They do.
Honestly, being over here, whenever people hear that I'm Australian, they either mention Olivia Newton-John, they say, that's not a knife, this is a knife,
Yeah.
or they do this to me.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
This was probably 10 years ago at the American Embassy. They said that Hugh Jackman and me had the same amount of
Fees.
trips come, but he doesn't go over anymore. He lives there. So,
So you're well ahead of him.
So I think we've got like 10 of your passports just filled to the brim.
But Lucia, what was it like putting on the blue skivvy for the first time?
Okay, so originally I was going to go into yellow, which was, I'm going to say, not a good color on me. And
It's a tough colour to wear.
Also,
Tough colour to
the
work.
like lineage of the blue wiggle. I mean,
yes.
there's power in
yeah,
that.
it was, well, yeah, that was the thing. So when we did decide I was going to go into blue, there was, an added thing of, wow, like my dad's in this color as well. And this is going to be a whole new thing because I don't, it was kind of unexpected.
It's like the royal family, isn't it?
It's the fields of blue.
It's the blue, and it's very proud to be wearing blue. It did feel a little bit scary, I will say, because predecessing an OG wiggle, a lot of the fans are very protective, which fair enough.
In what sense?
Oh, I mean, if anything were, I don't know how to explain it.
Well, they treat him with
I
reverence.
get what you mean. It's,
Yeah,
we've all got our ideas of what the wiggles
Yeah,
are.
should-
in our
yeah, and
heads,
how they should
it's-
be.
that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
and
but it's been funny because the new 8 wiggles, there's so much personality, so many different things. Like you got Strong John there, and John's got his internet's gone berserk.
he's got his own thing
And
on the internet.
people are
He's
starting,
got all the mums excited.
yeah, and he said early on, people always wrote, "Oh, it's not the OGs, it's not the same," but
Yeah.
they're starting to less just the
Less.
20-year-olds that now go,
Yeah.
but they're not watching it anyway. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, it happened so organically, didn't it, back in the day? The whole Wake Up Jeff
Yeah.
and all that, it just sort of wrote itself there for
Yeah,
a
that's
while.
right. That's it.
And now you're...
Why was Jeff sleeping so often?
True story.
You met Jeff?
Yeah.
I'll deny saying that, Jeff.
Jeff is such a sweetheart, but also
Yeah.
such a calm guy. But that wasn't the reason. The reason was Murray, myself, and Greg were early childhood trained, and we knew how to talk to children. We knew how to talk on stage to 500 kids, 1,000 kids, and Jeff had no idea. And one time he said a couple of things which they weren't inappropriate, but they were borderline, and he didn't mean it to be like. And we said,
It's just slightly
"Jeff-"
off-brand.
Yes. And we said, Jeff, here's the thing: if you fall asleep, they can wake you up. You don't have to say a word. And that was it. He loved it.
Just go to sleep.
He loved it.
Stop talking, just fall asleep.
Yeah.
And it's become a thing now, like Lockie and the purple skivvy. He falls asleep, but
Funny how that happens.
yeah, funny how that
Right.
happens. It might have been the skivvy, but everyone has such different personalities, and also it's kind of reflecting our audiences
And
too.
what was it like? this is what is it like when the Wiggles came over? Did you know Jeff and Murray and Greg pretty well?
Yeah, well, okay, I'm thinking back. It
She was very young.
I was very young,
yeah.
but I found it so normal. Like, oh, Jeff, friend,
Now
Murray,
Lucia's
friend.
working with Paddy, Captain Feathersword.
Yeah.
Now,
Oh,
Paddy's the only guy that I can reminisce with. He's been there 30 years. I've been 34.
He's
And-
always been in
but
my
he-
life.
Yeah, he's stirring.
He's always been stirring, always been the funniest guy and the sweetest guy in the room. I remember Paddy from when I was little, and all of the OGs. But so me and Sahai, we
She's
talk.
lovely, isn't she?
She's
The sweetest. She's so
amazing.
funny. But we don't stop talking. I mean, look, we're similar in age. We relate to each other, and so Paddy just he eggs us on to keep talking, and then we get in trouble.
From who?
But this guy right here.
This on stage, you mean?
No,
No,
this is off
no, I
stage.
wouldn't do it on
Okay.
stage, but it's
Filming,
like
stuff like that.
yeah, filming.
They're professionals, Dad. Not
They're
us.
professionals.
Sorry.
Yeah, it is quite funny, but it's like one big family, really.
One of the things I love about the Wiggles is how it's just evolved and is still evolving. You had your originals, and then then Emma sort of took off for a while, the yellow thing, and then now the next generations come along. I mean, how much of that do you sort of let it run, and how much of that do you try and control and plan?
It was a conscious decision to become gender balanced, multicultural, reflect our audience. Surely Sean the Unicorn.
Equal rights for dinosaurs.
That was a conscious decision, and how it went from there, it was like putting the flag up and singing salutes. But as the years have gone on, how many years now? 2, 3?
3 years.
3 years. So we're getting so many African people at our shows, and we never ever had people of colour coming to the shows. And of course, it's if you see it, you can be it. And Si's become, one time Simon and I were tearing up,
Oh, yeah.
really were, at the amount of African people in the audience, because that's exactly what we want. We want people from all around the world, different, however they believe, whatever they believe, just to get something out of the Wiggles and feel welcome.
It's just genius.
And the
isn't it?
the kids and the parents are very vocal about it too. I mean, there are so many signs like.
With the one for Evie, what was
There
that?
was a sign the other day. Oh, it was so. I was tearing up on stage, and it was actually a little note for Evie, and it said, "Evie, you showed me that Indigenous girls can be ballerinas too," and that's like, what more could you ask for? That is so incredible, and for Sahai as well, and for Johnny as well. He's brought so many Filipino
Filipino people,
families. It's
like,
amazing.
and
Well,
his
for a
mum.
while you had a South American version of the Wiggles, didn't you? And you had
Yeah.
like
Lost
various
Wiggles,
ones. Now it's all you lot.
all
and
us.
It's all one big happy family,
it's
which
great,
is which is great. You must hate it when people ask you this question, especially people like me. But how have you put a time frame on how long you can do this for?
I look at you.
It's an open book.
I look at you. No, Christian, this is true. I look at
Both
you.
go
and
out together, eh?
No, I look at you. I don't know. I just love it. But if I wasn't a Wiggle, I would be playing music at the local pub. I reckon, doing some Irish Scottish music. So
Lucia, you're a young lady in your prime of life. What's it like for you having a life outside the Wiggles, and yet you're a Wiggle sort of first and foremost, really.
It was a bit hard to find that balance between work and life at first, but it's funny because my life and my work kind of have always
Been intertwined.
My dancing, I mean, I do it for fun anyway, so I try and do a dance at Sydney dance classes, like, or whenever I can for fun. And I see my friends on days where I know I might have an afternoon off or something, and they're at uni as well, so it can be a bit tricky to coordinate that. But I've found I do have a balance now, and it's working for me as well. Our shows are on the weekend at the moment, so I get the week when we're not filming, I get the day off maybe, and I can see my friends for lunch, and I always keep in touch with them online. But it did take a while but I
Because
have
there's
that
so
now.
much goes into it. You don't
Yeah.
just rock up there and whack on the blue skivvy and
Yeah.
Bob's your uncle. I mean,
Yes.
you're rehearsing, you're
Yes.
you're writing, you're shooting stuff, you're traveling. I mean, it's
Travelling, yeah.
it's
Well, you know what's different these days is that YouTube
Yes.
is so important for early childhood. It's because children
Yeah.
want to, they don't just want to turn on, this show at
Yeah,
9:30
they
and
wanna
then
choose,
that's it for the
yeah.
day. They want to watch all day. So we've taken the last 2 years. This year probably we've really focused our whole business on YouTube, which means
Spending a lot of
we're
time.
spending a lot of time in the
Yeah.
studio, which we haven't done before. And gee, it's been rewarding. It's been
Yeah.
really good doing it and making brand new content.
aren't we lucky to be able to do
Yep.
stuff that we love? And our kids are still, once upon a time, it's like, Dad, just drop me off down the street from the school.
Oh, I have a story about this.
Did Christian do that?
A little bit, but no, we just enjoy hanging out. Too.
Dad in recent years, so when my brother and sister were still at school, he has was it the Jeep or the Volkswagen?
It was a Volkswagen.
Yeah, Volkswagen Ute thing.
Oh.
And Dad, we're Scottish,
Volkswagen,
and
You know, play the bagpipes.
plays the bagpipes. And
Very well,
one
too.
day he rocks up at home with the car completely wrapped in a tartan material,
tartan.
Gordon tartan, and then his face. It's a photo of him and his friend Dougie on it.
But in full Highland gear. Dougie did it. I said, Dougie, can you get this wrapped in Gordon tartan? And he did it. But the surprise was he put me and him playing bagpipes on the car, which I thought looked great. But I would not have done that.
Maria and Antonio, seriously, I don't think
Maria cried when I said, I've got to drop you at school. She cried.
Oh.
She would not get in that car.
she
fair enough.
down the road. It was pretty hilarious. And then when you got it off, it was a bit of a
Just remind me why you did this again.
Oh,
For fun.
Just fun. Yeah.
Because the Gordon tartan, is that the green? Is that the
It
green?
is.
The
it
green
is,
and
yeah.
the
Beautiful
green.
green.
Yeah, a bit of yellow. And, yeah.
It was quite pretty, but it was
The Dougie went overboard. Putting the
it
big
was a
pictures.
lot. Yes.
He put the pictures of us all. Yeah.
Because you don't traditionally see cars wrapped in tartan
No. And giant cars too.
with pictures of guys with
Playing bagpipes.
No, I don't. I think we'll take the side of the kids on that particular occasion. Yeah. No, we actually genuinely enjoy hanging out. Christian and I travel well together.
course.
I mean, do you ever have moments, when you're the boss of the group? I'm sure you'll say you're a benevolent dictator or something, but it's your group.
Do you know what, Richard? What I found amazing, and this probably is that when we went on tour, you have these different cars, and anyone could go in, these cars. And I always drive with Johnny Pierce, he lives. And then I thought, Lucia's, there's no way she wants to drive in the car. Every time we're on tour, she goes voluntarily into my car, and I'm still.
Because you're her dada.
Yeah,
she loves
I know,
you.
but it took a while to understand that. I thought she wouldn't want to. I thought she'd go, well, I'll go with.
Go with the youngies.
Yeah.
No,
Stop at Macca's.
we have
We do that anyway.
Yeah, but we have so much fun. And
Yes. And do you leave first as well?
I mean, okay, actually, one thing that does stress me out is because Dad really takes his time, and I'm waiting in the car, and I'm like, okay, we need to go. Like, I'm a very on time person, but still, like, you learn to live with it. It's fine, but no, we have so much fun in the car, and also when we're touring, also filming and stuff like that. There's definitely Dad who's the boss and Dad who's my dad. There's a in between, but also he's probably the most fun boss ever.
Well, you got to leave on time. So how many people you got on the road?
14, maybe?
Yeah.
18, or something. It's a lot.
But we have probably 4 or 5 in one car.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
But do you know what we worked out? Simon is... Christian, are you one of those on-time guys? Like,
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
true.
That's why I like traveling with Dad, because he might take a little while as well, but I know that I'm going to get places when I'm with
okay,
him.
yeah, fair enough.
well,
Yeah.
Paddy, Captain Feathersword, he's thinking about how he's going to get in that car before the show's finished.
Yeah, but he
Right.
don't, we don't see him. We don't see him afterwards. He's already in the
just-
car.
And then
does
he
a
waits,
runner.
and he waits outside. So whoever's in his car,
Good luck.
it gives me nerves.
Anxiety.
Yeah.
So I take my time.
You know-
And he also goes A to B, where if I see the big tennis racket out where Yvonne Goolagong, I'll stop and we'll get a photo every time.
Yeah.
Or if we,
Yeah.
but he would.
He won't even stop for food, I don't think.
We went to
So what's his motivation? Just getting there on
getting
time.
there on time,
Yeah.
or getting there. But we went to and we drove past Stonehenge, and of course we stopped and we had a look at
Of course.
it. And I said to Paddy, "Did you watch?" And he went, "I let them wind the window down as we went by."
Does your mum ever go on the road?
Not really. She comes to the shows in Sydney and then sometimes Melbourne.
Melbourne, yeah.
But not really. I mean, I think she's seen a lot of shows.
she knows how the songs go.
She knows how the songs. She loves it. She still loves it. But yeah,
She wanted to come in Darling Harbour. We just played Darling Harbour recently.
Yeah.
She wanted to come, but Antonio and Maria wouldn't go with her, and she said, "I'm not going."
Yeah.
You couldn't have done this without her, could you?
Oh no, absolutely. You're
Bringing your
so
family
right,
up,
mate. You're
holding
so
your
right.
family
You're
together.
so right.
Yeah.
Absolutely, Richard. You're right. It's definitely, and they're a credit to her. The kids, I think that she's done an amazing job with them.
Well, it's all about family, which is what this little podcast is. And we love your family, and we thank you on behalf of the people of the world, if I can say. Thank you for entertaining. Generations of young people have grown up into.
And right back at you too, man. Yeah,
Well,
thank you so
Wait,
much,
but
guys.
just quickly before we go, can I get one, just in unison, you two, fruit salad, yummy, yummy? I just need to hear it.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4. Fruit salad. Yummy, yummy.
Fruit salad.
Yummy, yummy.
Fruit salad. Come on, Richard. Yummy, yummy.
Yummy, 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 yummy. Fruit salad.
Yeah.
Love you guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.